So Hip Hop News Uncensored covered Baller Alert podcast where they asked Boosie about Vlad being the police because Vlad often gets rappers on there and eggs them on to say stuff about criminal past that they done, and they end up jail and Vlad end up getting paid. But this is what Boosie had to say about it.
About Vlad. Say Vlad is the police though. I've never incriminated nobody on there. You know, I've never said nothing to start a beef on there. Mm-hmm. You're saying you know how to handle yourself on the Yes, and you should know how to if you're a criminal. Or you're a rapper. It's just sometimes rappers go on there and don't forget they're criminals. You can't blame Vlad. You can't blame him. Mad at Vlad, man. Thanks. Now, Boosie. Hey, he ain't sent me to jail. They like, bro, Boosie the boy died and he went on Vlad TV. Died like 48 hours. They said Vlad is cursed. I think Benzino said that. Empire Records cursed. Oh, Lord. Start picking. Everybody go over there, die. Everybody go over there. R.I.P.
Listen, I don't like how he kind of deflected towards the end. Like, is Vlad cursed? No, in that case, Empire cursed, and everybody over there is almost dying just about when they go over there. Yeah, that wasn't what we was talking about, though. We talking about the curse of Vlad, which I don't think is a curse. I think it's Vlad actively being a culture vulture, as Dame Dash said, and pushing young men and women to admit to certain things on camera or to talk recklessly on camera in order for him to get clicks and views and money. And he makes money hand over fist, over hand over fist for doing so. That's why he asks these type of questions without blinking. But I have to also say that Boosie was 1,000% right in what the sentiments that he just said before, because you have to be dumber than a doorknob to go on a platform as big as Vlad, to go on to go on your Instagram Live, to go on your Facebook. Why would you go on there and start talking about crimes that you have actively committed, knowing that the police are watching, detectives are watching, FBI, federal, whoever? They use these platforms, and they definitely stack information to use on you whenever they get ready to. You be talking and don't think nobody's listening, but they're listening and gathering. And I think you have to be very silly to think that you going on here telling all your business on Instagram Live or admitting the crimes and this, that, and that. You have to be a dumb individual to openly admit to people you done shot in the face and all this type of stuff. Like, so you have to remember that part of it and go on there for what it is. Talk about your music or whatever you're going over there to get some shine for, but don't start admitting to crimes. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's not going to get you anywhere. But I'm still not going to actively, because I don't like how, Boosie was like, well, you can't blame Vlad for that. Yeah, you can, though. Because Vlad has a certain way about himself in egging these things on. I watched the comedy hype. I don't watch Vlad no more. Like, I don't even tune in at all no more. The last time I watched, I tuned out of Vlad when he disrespected the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and lied on him about some statements about throwing a rock at, it was a metaphor that obviously was a metaphor. Vlad, when it flipped it and made it like he was trying to say he was actually trying to harm some people and he was a hate, he was all about hate and all that. And I'm just tired of that narrative being spent about the minister. It's totally disrespectful. A lot of people didn't like it. And Vlad said, I don't care if you don't like it. It ain't going to hurt me. And as we sit here today, it surely has not. Because black folk keep running up to his platform. Even after Jamar and Godfrey, they were like two of the main, like Jamar really was like, he was the guy for Vlad. I'm not going to say he made Vlad with it, but I'm just saying Vlad is not a entertaining person to listen to. So he definitely, that's why he's not on camera. He asks the questions, very monotone, very laid back. And he lets you go off and say what you want to say. And Jamar was one of the faces of Vlad, but I would say the main face of Vlad. Godfrey followed as one of those main faces. And it just, I was happy to see them unplug and get away from that, because it's just like a culture vulture type of thing where it don't seem that Vlad cares about the culture, but he profits off of it heavily. Just like the many faces at the top of the record labels that don't look like us, that pay people to get into beefs. NBA YoungBoy and Lil Durk was just admitting that they were paid to start beefs, to create controversy, to drum up sales. And for what? What happens when young men end up dead? They don't care. But they profit off of it, just like Vlad does. So I don't respect the way, I mean, it's just like I say, I'm disappointed that some black folk continue to go up there and make his show what it is, because he don't have any flavor. He's not entertaining. So he relies off the people that he interviews. And people like D.L. Hughley keep going up there being, one of the mainstays of the show. And even him, recently, on Comedy Hype, because I don't watch Vlad no more. But on Comedy Hype, I seen him talking about this, where he brought up Monique. Vlad brought up Monique. And DL was like, I don't even know who you're talking about. I have no interest in talking about her or giving any breath towards this woman because of how disrespectful Monique was in their last back and forth about who headlining. And Monique said some things about his family that was just totally out of line. His daughter, totally out of line. I made a few videos about this. And even though he said he had no interest in talking to her, Vlad, okay, well, can I just tell you what he said? Okay, whatever. And then the third time, okay, I'm going to just read it. You don't have to respond. I'm going to just read it. And then by the time he got to read Monique's statement, it was like DL couldn't help but he just had to respond. You know what I'm saying? He tried to, but he had to respond. And this is the type of thing, it's an art to it, that Vlad does, that he will manipulate, especially the younger they are. Like, I was surprised that when DL was stern about not answering the question, I thought he really wasn't going to answer it. But I was surprised when he finally still bit the bait. But, I mean, people can get you like that. People can rile you up and press the right buttons. But I'm going to say this. Vlad does it often to a lot of young men and women. Young women and men that fall into the trap. I mean, come on. Y'all got to stop being this stupid. But I'm giving equal blame to them and to Vlad. But I'm not going to let Vlad wash his white hands or Russian hands from this problem like he doesn't actively participate in it. I'm not going to let the other gentlemen that run record labels and companies wash their hands of these problems and act like they don't actively participate in black death, black beef, black, all of it. Like, y'all stir up the whole way that the hip hop industry is run is set up to be like a pipeline to prison. I mean, it geeks, they only coming from the top, and mind you, that's what we rap about. All the fellas, we can play the black card all we want to, but if you keep rapping about shooting people in the face, I don't know what else you want them to do with that. But it's funny that when you do come with better songs, more creative songs, then the people at the top of the chain is like, nah, just keep shooting people in the face. Keep shooting them in the face. Yeah. That's what we want to promote. Because we're gonna create a bunch of zombies that are gonna listen to that, get amped up by that. They're gonna do that, and they're gonna go to prison. And it creates a circle of income between the music industry, between prisons, between, it's just a circle of money. The court system, where you're in and out of court, you're paying fines, you're doing this, you're on probation for these many years. It's an ongoing effect. And I won't let black men be washed of this responsibility, because fellas, y'all, you like, come on, man. I've been there. I know. It's fun to be young and stupid. But at some point, you got to rein in your tongue and get some type of responsibility about the stuff that you're spewing out here to the youth. Because they eating it up and they going to do the same things you're doing. You out here talking about pills, you don't even do pills like that. Future, music, all this, right? But you got all the young kids out here doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So we all are responsible. I'm not going to let nobody get off the hook on this one today. But I have to call it out as I see it, you know. But who can really expect Boosie to turn on Vlad, being that he gets paid pretty heftily to do what he's doing? You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna say Vlad's the police or nothing like that. He gonna keep getting that bag. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open, man. But let me know what you think. It's your boy P Camp signing out. Get at your boy.